I realized how important it is for you to really express how you're feeling. And that's where this came from is you have to express those feelings. You can't ignore them. You can't shove them under the rug. I have seen the outcome from somebody that just shoves things under the rugs. It's ugly. And you can fall so much harder if you don't express all those.
Okay.
So I think that this was a way, honestly, for me to get everything out.
Okay.
With what I was going through at the time. And I got everything written out. And I just think it's so important. Now I'm an advocate. Like if you have something that's on your heart, deal with it.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be a harder fall if you don't.
Hi, I'm Caroline Howard, a biblical counselor and certified life breakthrough coach.
And I'm Chris Oneth, marriage and family therapist and executive director of Downey Park Counseling Associates.
Welcome to our next question, where we attempt to answer the questions of life through conversations in psychology and Christianity.
Remember, this is a place of discovery and definitely not the final answer. Welcome, we're back.
Episode 35.
Yes.
We have a guest.
Yes.
Especial.
Niederman.
Yeah.
I want to say it right.
Okay.
It's a very long last name.
She has a book. We're going to get to that.
Yes.
Our question today is...
Boy, it seems like we're starting so fast. I'm getting the bends.
We already got to slow down.
I'm like, oh, wait a second.
I'm excited.
Chris needs some time of banter before
I get
really
excited when we have female guests because I'm like, not outnumbered.
Girl power.
Yeah.
I'll say it again. It balances out the estrogen testosterone in this.
It does.
Because never mind.
You're the way.
Yes.
Okay, we'll slow it down. But our question today is going to be, what does it mean to fall and rise? And we'll get into that.
No, hold on. Because I remember Krista saying, Carissa?
No, Krista.
Jeez.
Oh my
Louise.
God.
Already.
Come on.
We could edit that out.
Myself. What does it mean to fall and then to rise?
Yes.
Is that, that's the more right one, isn't
Oh
it?
my
Yay.
God.
It's a two-part question.
Oh.
Because
That's true.
There's going to be two answers.
Okay, then. But before we get to that.
I'm rolling my eyes at you already.
What are you, surfing the web?
No, I'm changing the title and all the things because you just...
You changed it up.
Because I never see you writing...
Maybe do that later. Boy,
I never
you are a
see
multitasker.
you writing the show notes.
Ever seen one?
Do you ever write the show notes?
That's because I cannot form a sentence.
Obviously. Or say people's names right.
Oh, well, it's trial and error.
Fun question. We're going breakfast today.
Oh, jeez.
Because I'm hungry. And I actually ate breakfast this morning.
Yes.
So let's start. We're going to go with like a breakfast platter. You know, you get eggs, a meat, and then what do you call that? A treat.
A bread.
A treat.
A
bread.
treat. Ooh,
Yeah,
a bread.
treat.
Okay.
A bread?
Muffins, pancakes.
Oh, like a biscuit or something?
Biscuits.
Yes. Okay.
French toast.
So here's what you got to do. How do you like your eggs? Are you going sausage, bacon, or ham?
Ooh.
And then are we doing toast? A muffin?
Poo-pooing toast.
Because wait, here's your
offended
options.
by your reaction
you got
about
toast, muffin, pancake,
Ooh,
waffle, or French toast.
Oh my gosh, there's so many options.
I know. See,
And
why
it
would you pick
changes
toast?
according to the day and the mood.
It
does.
really does depend. Is this all together at the same meal?
Yeah, it's
That's
your like
so
breakfast
much.
platter.
If I've given up in life,
Yeah.
then it's all of the
Week?
above.
I don't know. Oh no.
Caleb, are you
Yeah,
ready?
what
Are
month
you
is-
ready to create your breakfast
What
platter?
I'm going to
month is
be
it?
such
Let's
a
create-
disappointing start if you start with me.
Well, then
You
it can
fast.
only go up from there.
Okay, that's true.
Okay,
because
so
I
Caleb-
am not a big breakfast food guy.
It's okay.
And I do not like eggs, so no eggs for me.
Okay,
Oh.
no eggs.
I know.
Wait, what are we putting? Are we doing extra meat then? You can pick 2 meats if you'd like.
See, I don't care for the breakfast meats much either. I would do like maybe a little bit of bacon.
Okay.
And then I don't have a huge preference between like pancake, French toast, waffle. I've been doing a lot more French toast lately.
Okay.
So I'd say I'd go with that. Or like waffle with some fruit on it, something like
Okay.
that. Keep it a little healthier.
Wow.
So what do you not eat breakfast?
Not typically.
That's so
What
unhealthy.
is wrong with
I know
you,
people
kid?
who love breakfast. I don't think it is that unhealthy though. Most breakfast food is so unhealthy.
It really is.
I actually fast.
Okay, so,
So I'm not a big breakfast person either, but we do like breakfast for dinner sometimes.
that's what.
So
yes.
that's where I can answer.
That's
that.
where
Yes.
ditto.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
like
heck
breakfast
yeah.
for breakfast. I'd rather eat a hamburger for breakfast.
You're like, let me swap my lunch.
I
and
totally
breakfast.
would. Because why do you have to eat breakfast food for breakfast? Why can't you,
You
eat
can-
whatever you
But then
want?
you're talking about your favorite food, not your
And
favorite
then-
breakfast food.
And then I eat breakfast
You've totally
for
changed
dinner.
the rules on us.
I eat breakfast. There's no rules.
This
Okay.
is degenerated truly into
we gotta move on to somebody
Chris,
else here.
What's your...
You just promised you wouldn't do that anymore.
Hold up, I didn't even
Caleb,
write
are
down
you
the time.
ovophobic?
Are you
Wow.
what?
Which I just
You
had
just
to look
Googled
up.
that,
I
yep.
did. It was in my head somewhere, and I couldn't access it.
Wait,
I'm
are
not
you
afraid
what?
of eggs.
They can touch you, and
I
you'll
just
be
don't
okay.
prefer the taste of like eggs by themselves.
Some people don't like the consistency.
Well, you gotta add some
there's so many
salt
different
and
ways to
some
do it.
pepper and
The
some
texture.
barbecue
Yeah, but like the
sauce.
base is the problem. So why even
At that
go
point,
there?
why even eat the eggs?
Are you? Hey,
Did you say barbecue sauce?
sure?
Jillian ate barbecue sauce on her eggs this morning.
Well, more power to her. She
that's
knows what she's talking
interesting.
She
about.
eats barbecue sauce with everything, though.
That's an interesting take.
Okay,
ketchup.
give me your breakfast platter.
Well, it's funny you should ask.
Is it?
All of last year I did. I fasted for breakfast.
Okay.
And maybe on the weekends I would have a breakfast, but then I was down to 2 meals, and I'm losing muscle mass, and nobody wants that.
Right,
Okay.
right.
And
Thanks
so
for the backstory.
there is a backstory. So now I am eating about 200 grams of protein a day.
Nice.
Oh, it's
Oh, wow.
incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, listen,
Yeah.
gym strength through the roof. Energy through the roof. Healing properties. I can cut my
He's like a
hand,
superhero
and it
over here.
heals up right away. It's
Okay.
weird.
And now, what is your breakfast platter?
What do you got? Breakfast 1 or 2?
What was your ideal platter? So, what kind? How do you want your eggs?
And
The
all
waitress
the protein
is here.
you can stomach.
The waitress is here, and she's like, "How would you like your eggs?"
Oh, I would like my eggs over easy.
Okay.
You ask sausage, bacon, or
Or ham.
Yes.
Okay. You want all three? Okay.
The toast I would, or the bread.
Okay.
Now, I love me pancakes and syrup, boysenberry syrup. I would spread it on my face if I could, like a child. But
We're keeping this
I'm
PG today.
51, and so the sugar now
Yeah.
weirds me out. So I would totally, at this point in my dietary thing, I would have some Dave's bread because they're high.
Oh,
it's
Dave's good.
Dave's
high in
I
protein.
love their
And
bread.
did you see Dave? He's buffed.
Because he eats his own bread.
eats his bread.
Absolutely.
I think it's because he makes his bread by hand, and he's
Right.
Yes.
kneading it.
He's yoked.
So you should
No offense.
start making. You should start making your own bread.
Were there other choices? Oh, and then for breakfast Tuesdays,
No, you're done. Okay,
that's 3 hours later.
you're done.
Oatmeal
Cutting
and
you
Greek
off.
yogurt.
We're talking about number 1.
Yes. we're
Okay.
doing breakfast-
First breakfast.
a breakfast
Buzz
platter.
Killington's over here.
Krista, what is your ideal breakfast platter?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I do fast. But if we do, sometimes like on Sundays, we'll go out to breakfast
Yes.
right after church.
that's
so
the way to do it.
that's when we go all out for our breakfast
Okay.
foods. I actually like a good breakfast burrito.
Okay.
I
Okay.
like bacon or sausage if it's ground. I'm not a big fan of the links.
Yeah,
'cause
me
the
neither.
skin on the outside.
yeah.
I
Ew,
can't
yeah,
do
okay.
it.
No.
So ground sausage, scrambled eggs. Sometimes I like my over easy egg though on like a hamburger. Now that you talked about
That's
it,
breakfast.
That's so good.
That's so breakfast.
We've
that
had
makes
discussions
breakfast.
about-
that makes it breakfast.
makes
a
it
hamburger with egg.
Well, no, we discussed this, and you poo-pooed me for it, but now you have your friend over here, and now it's all bueno.
Well, I
I
would.
put
I
an
made-
egg. I put an egg on pizza breakfast.
That's
Nasty.
interesting.
Well,
I don't know
the
if I would
pizza
go that
left over
far.
from the night before. That's a whole different topic. Anyway,
You've made it breakfast. with the
discuss.
egg. Okay.
Potatoes. Do you like the potatoes in your breakfast in your burrito?
In the burrito, yes, I actually do. If it's like cubed,
Okay.
like the what do you call them? Country
Yeah.
potatoes? Is that what they call it? Yes, I
Oh,
do like
definitely.
that. Yes.
Definitely.
I'm
Do you
not the-
try to kill your burrito with each bite? Do you shove the whole damn thing in your
No,
mouth?
that is not me. That's my husband for sure. He can finish it all in
That's
like
good to
2
know.
bites. Yeah. No, I'm the one with the fork and knife because they're always fatty.
Oh god!
So I'm like,
oh man!
That's when you dump it out and you just tear off
Right?
a
You
piece of
just mix it.
tortilla
Some
Yes.
and
sort of
use it
dainty
as
situation going on here. Well,
Right.
more power to your husband, man. He seems like a cool dude. I already like him already.
He's a manly man.
yeah, he is a
He knows how to
man.
eat a
Do you
burrito.
by any chance ride a motorcycle?
No,
That's too bad.
no.
Okay.
But he wears really cool shoes.
We are a shoe family.
They are a shoe
Okay.
family, which I
Very
think is
cool.
kind of part of where the connection started because he
Yes,
complimented my
definitely.
son's shoes, and then it was all
Oh.
from there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna follow the rules then.
Yep.
Breakfast platter. I'm doing scrambled eggs extra dry. I like my eggs dry because I really don't
Dry?
like. I really
How do you
don't
make
like
them dry?
eggs. You just like overcook
Kill
them
them.
basically.
Kill them.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like
You just totally
burn 'em.
overcook them.
Okay.
So I don't really like eggs, but I know they have
Toast
protein.
dry
so I eat them.
also?
No, if I did toast, it's going to have lots of butter and jam.
Oh, okay,
I'm going bacon all the way, unless it is a crumbled sausage.
Yes.
crispy or
Yes.
soft?
Oh, crunchy. I mean, you want it like where you drop it and it just goes
shatters.
I can't
been
do the
freeze
bacon
dried.
fat. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
no,
so
I
burn
want it like so bacon dry and crispy. If I were to do hash browns, I would ask for them extra crispy. I would be like, crisp it, take off the top, put the crispy, crisp the next layer.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then I would go
peculiar.
with a Belgian waffle with all the fruit on it.
Ooh,
Oh,
yes.
wow.
Yum.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
Belgian
really
waffles are-
want the syrup. I want the fruit.
Belgian waffles
Well,
are
that
hard
makes
to
it sweet.
negotiate.
Why?
Well, you get those deep
Right.
crevasses.
So like the fruit just kind of
Yeah,
sits
well,
right in there.
they can
You gotta make
hold-
sure the syrup
hold
is in
a
each little hole.
nice
and then
amount
it
of
doesn't
syrup.
get soggy. It stays like crispy as you cut into it.
Breakfast for dinner. I thought I was taking my wife out to a place in Oakdale, but now we're going to go to
Like you were gonna have
Waffle Hut
steak.
or
Now we're
something
having
Doesn't
ridiculous.
sound
Denny's.
Yeah, exactly.
We're having left. I don't know
Well,
what we're
congratulations on your very dry breakfast.
having. I have fruit on my waffle.
Okay, then. Okay.
Okay.
We all know
We'll
I'm a
accept
very
that.
dry person.
works.
If I eat a sandwich, there's no mustard or mayonnaise. I want
What?
it dry.
Oh,
Hey, I agree with
wow.
you
You
there.
like it real dry.
Thank you.
Okay.
I do.
I'm
You know what? My personality
apoplectic.
covers up for all of this stuff. We're fine.
How do
fine.
you what about the lubing properties of mayonnaise?
Okay. Do you know what ruined it for me with mayonnaise? I used to love mayonnaise, and then someone told me this joke about the
Oh,
warts
no.
in a mayonnaise jar, and I won't tell you the joke.
Oh, please don't.
But ever since I've heard
like,
that joke, I can no
inappropriate.
longer eat mayonnaise.
Oh,
I find it
no.
very difficult for people to dissuade me away from all kinds of foods. You can tell me whatever, and I'm still.
I
gonna
know.
be
I'll
like,
tell you
"All
the
right."
joke later. I'll save our.
Well, you hear about the bugs in
listeners.
ketchup, right?
I don't eat ketchup.
You don't. You know what? We better move on. It's parts per million.
I don't eat caviar either, but I'll
Oh,
drink
no.
champagne.
She picks her.
You wash the breakfast
right?
down with the champagne.
Ooh, with a mimosa?
mimosa.
Heck yeah, I would.
Wow.
Little OJ in there.
See, why do
Oh,
why do
jeez.
I need all the moisture in my food when I just have it in the drink?
That's just a
She'd rather
reason.
drink her
That's just a
moisture.
reason to drink in the morning a mimosa.
Okay, so
Come on,
here's
who
what's
invented
great.
that?
Chris's wife Mel and I, we go on trips together.
Oh, fun.
And when we go on trips, we eat good breakfast.
Yes.
And we always order a mimosa and a latte. Or I get a latte and she gets
Okay.
another kind of coffee. And
Together.
then water. And so, I'm like,
Oh,
why do you have to
dope.
choose between coffee and a mimosa?
It's like a
and the water.
And a water. Because, I mean,
You
it's
have to
like
ha-
an
you have to hydrate.
80s
Life is about
cereal
balance.
commercial. They used to have the
they
fruit or the orange juice and milk, and
Yeah.
then the bowl of cereal, and then some other thing, and it was like part of a complete breakfast, which
Yeah.
we all knew it wasn't. But right,
well, you had to add the milk and the
You
juice
had to add all
to
these
make the cereal
other
somewhat
things.
healthy.
It's like wow, okay.
Although I've just read an article that like the number, like diabetes is so high in kids right now, and they're contributing it to 100% juice. Did you read that,
gosh,
Caleb?
what?
No, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the sugar.
Yeah.
It's,
Like my son's like,
play,
I'll
you
take the
pay.
apple juice. And I'm like, that has the most sugar out of all the juices.
yeah,
Wow.
apple juice for sure.
So,
Wow.
yeah, there's nothing
Well,
fruity
we
about
play,
it
we
except the
pay.
name. There you go. All right.
Okay, why are we here?
Why are we here?
Why am
That's
I
not
here?
the question.
Oh, that's not the question. So we're here with, again, Kristen Niederman to talk about her and her book.
My
She is a published author.
Yes, super
Woohoo.
exciting. Yeah,
Her first book,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And it came out last year,
September.
September of last year.
Okay.
It is called Fall and Rise.
Yes.
Fall into your emotions and rise with the one that is chosen. We will link
Awesome.
to this in the show notes so you can purchase the book.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I took your little blurb from Amazon about the book because I just think
Okay.
it's so great. So I want to read that.
okay,
Really. I know,
okay.
it's so great.
Okay.
So here's a little bit of what the book is about, and then we'll dive into asking you all the questions, and you can
Okay.
tell us.
Yes.
So, not only are you not alone in your struggles, there is a purpose for each and every one of them. You must be able to fall into your emotions, feel them, express them, and appreciate them. But it's just as important to rise up and move forward. With this book, you'll be able to fall into your emotions, reading my entries, poems, and affirmations, and rise back up with the provided Bible verses to help guide you. With God on your side, you can and will get through anything. Use this book to your advantage and allow your vulnerability to surface through reading affirmations, journaling your thoughts and prayers, and leaning on the only one who can truly help you up when you have fallen. I love that. Did you write that?
I did.
Very good job. No wonder she's an author.
I have my moments.
So many questions, so little time.
I know.
Let's start with this. How did you get into authoring?
Is that what you call it?
Sure.
Authoring. We just made up a word.
We did.
All the time.
Honestly, my mom planted the seed.
Okay.
Go, Mom.
If you really go back, and I'll go back quickly, but I have always really been drawn to quotations and writings and entries and poems. And in my app, if you have an iPhone, you have the notes app. And I would always write good ones down. Okay. Well, I actually kind of remember this day a little bit, but I remember reading one and I was like, I don't agree with that. So then I kind of wrote my own. Like, it kind of inspired me to like write something on how I feel and how I take it. Okay. And then I started writing it in and I was like, you know what? I'm going to separate these notes. I'm going to separate mine from the ones that are famous and popular and whatever. But I started my own.
Wait, notes from where?
Like notes in your app. Like you can, it's called Notes.
The Notes app on your iPhone. Do you not write notes in your note app?
No.
Oh, I have all my passwords in there.
Know.
Like
all
my
right.
like everything's in my notes.
Wait, does it come preloaded? Because you were talking about others' notes.
Yes, it's called Notes.
Oh no, others' notes. Okay, so she's saying like she would see a quote someone else wrote, and she would write that in her notes.
Yes.
Okay.
I like to write down my favorite ones, like all my favorite quotes and stuff.
Okay, they get you thinking.
Yes, they do. And then
Nice.
I started separating them, so I have mine, the ones that I came up with, and the ones that I just like really popular ones that kind of grew with me. But I started writing my own, and this is like over now years. I've just started writing, and then I've had some things happen over the last year or so where when I go through struggles, it kind of like pours out in me. Or if I have a friend that I'm talking to, some of these have been inspired by others.
Awesome.
But my mom, I read one to my mom, and she kind of like looked at me, and she's like, "You wrote that?" And I'm like, "Yes." And so I read another one. She's like, "You wrote all these?"
Wait. Yes. What is that? Mom, what does that mean?
My daughter's talented? No, I'm just kidding.
Killing me, Mom. Yeah, totally.
Shocking. No, no, so I read her a few and she's like, "Krista, why aren't you writing a book?" Aww. And I'm like, at first thought, I'm like, no, no, that just seems like too much work. But out of fun, just for the fun of it, I started doing it because I am an Amazon person. So I looked up to see like how you do with the KDP. That's who I went through. And so like I looked it up, and I didn't want to have it in my mind that this is what I'm doing. I kind of wanted to do it for fun at first. So I started writing all my entries slowly because I had them all on my phone. So I had to put them all on paper, and that was so much time. But I just slowly started entering them in, and there was definitely some hurdles, like because then like the formatting wasn't right, and I had to redo some things, and I'm like, there was many times where I almost didn't finish the book. But I just continued to go, and that's where it came from. All my little struggles kind of built out to these blurbs.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I look at this book and I think of it as a journaling devotional.
That's how I look at it.
Okay.
Right on.
That's actually a better way of saying it, because people are like, "What's your book?" I'm like, well, it's a devotional, it's a journal, it's a this and that. And
it's a journaling
devotional. That's just the great way of doing it.
I mean, I'll just
You're
take
not supposed
like
to sit
5%.
down.
No,
don't sit down and just read the whole thing.
No, and that's why I love it.
Yes.
So I'm just going to, I don't know, for those who are looking, you can kind of see.
Uh-huh.
So there's like a blurb or a verse, and then you have like a page that you can write your thoughts. I think it even says that. Your thoughts, prayers, and closures.
Yep.
And so what I love about it is you don't have to read it from front to back.
No.
You can kind of skim through.
Oh, absolutely.
And like, oh, okay, that one doesn't hit me today, but it might hit you tomorrow.
Yes.
Or there's a verse for me today. And then you go blah, and you can vomit on the page.
Right.
All your thoughts.
Is it day by day for the year?
No,
but it is a lot of pages. It is good for a year. That's for sure.
See, and I think that because I get overwhelmed with things that you're supposed to do like every day.
Right.
You don't say.
It can be overwhelming.
Like brushing my teeth,
picking up the kids. Wait, what time is it?
Putting on my clothes. All of those things can be overwhelming.
Yes.
Because it's like go at your own pace.
Nice.
And again, you don't have to start at the beginning and go to the end. Just flip it open and just start reading and write a date. And
right. Like
of
on
what
this
date I
date,
read
this
it.
is how I
Yes.
took it. Like on the papers where there's lines, you could put a date and put, this is how I'm feeling
yeah,
today.
totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
I
And you-
actually always tell people to go to page, because this is a big deal for me and my past. But
Yeah.
page 306 is a prayer for your enemies.
Okay.
don't-
And
wanna go to
so I
306.
always, yeah, I know it was very hard, but it was something that I had to do
Wow.
for myself.
Okay.
Like I was having a hard time forgiving somebody in my
Yeah.
past.
Okay.
So I came up with this prayer, and let me tell you, it was very hard.
Yeah.
But my heart softened over time. So
Okay.
I actually tell people, hey, you know what? I understand you're going through something right now, but go to page 306 and say that prayer
Okay.
for this person.
Yeah.
So you can
So,
go anywhere
Krista,
you want.
how
in
did
this
you
book.
come by this? Because there's a practical end to this where, okay, you were reflecting and having thoughts and writing things down. And then there's the life end of it.
Right.
That life's puts you through the ass whooping.
Yeah.
And so tell us about that.
Oh, I don't think we don't have enough time for that.
Okay, there you go. Quickly changing the subject. How about them
Give
Niners?
us the version.
No,
Ew, the Niners. Yeah,
I
we're not doing
can't
that.
say that I have had a hard life. I'm extremely blessed. There's nothing that's crazy that went down. I think that everybody goes through emotions, and I think that one of my most recent falls, I realized how important it is for you to really express how you're feeling, and that's where this came from. Is
Okay.
you have to express those feelings. You can't ignore them. You can't shove them under the rug. I have seen
Yeah.
the outcome from
Right.
somebody that just shoves things under the rugs. It's ugly, and you can fall so much harder if you don't express all those.
Okay.
So I think that this was a way, honestly, for me to get everything out
Okay.
with what I was going through at the time. And
Sure,
I
sure,
got
sure.
everything written out. And I just think it's so important. Now I'm an advocate. Like if you have something that's on your heart, deal with it,
Yeah.
because it's going to be a
I
harder
love-
fall if you don't.
I love that you say, because our last episode was about the easy way and how there is no easy way.
Yeah.
And you don't say to keep yourself from falling, go through your emotions, but you said to keep yourself from falling harder.
Right.
Like you're still going to
Oh,
fall.
you're
Yeah.
going to fall.
Falling
That's
is part of
inevitable.
the
You're
process
gonna
of
fall.
life, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Again, God says there's going to be tribulations.
Let's be humble here.
We're going to trip,
Yeah.
You know, we're all
Yeah.
going to trip. We're all going to
Yeah.
fall.
but
But
how hard you fall.
how you deal with that fall is going to
Yeah.
impact on how it impacts your life.
Yeah. And those around you.
Yes. Oh, and
So,
yours around you for sure.
When I think about this and see this, the first thing that comes to my mind is our brains were meant to confess, right? If we
Right.
ever said anything out loud, and I do this all the time, where I say it out loud and I realize I probably shouldn't have said that.
Right.
It's parts of my brain hearing other parts of my brain.
Yes.
Right. So that says to me that we were built for confession, to get it outside of ourselves, not so God can hear it, obviously.
Right.
But so we can hear it and so others can hear it. So when I send clients on, hey, journal and get it out of yourself, start with the
Yes.
feelings. A lot of them are like, oh, I don't know where to start. I think something like this is good to get some, reflecting in certain directions. But also that idea that we are built to confess, and oftentimes confession helps us process it better. And you're right. It's not an issue of, it's not if we're going to have a fall, but it's when.
Yeah.
And so being able to say, okay, this is what I'm going through. Super important for men and women. This is how we even organize who we are holistically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, physically.
Oh, yeah. I know I had a hard time with the cover because my husband's like, I asked my husband, I was like, does it look like it's only for women? Because I don't want it to be just for women, but honestly, it's me. Like that's why I continued with this. I was just like, you know what? It's me. The beauty still I still have the light, but then, show the vulnerable, the tears
Sure.
for being vulnerable.
If you could have a kick or a punch in there, I think guys would really
Right.
that would
Could
would
you do
seal
a
the
little
deal.
bubble that says "Hiya"?
Some explosion.
Okay,
explosion
I will
in the background.
somehow tie in
You can trick them
masculinity
into it because they might, this is rad.
Right.
And then they open it up and they're falling into, and then tears. And
However,
Oh my gosh,
this
sure.
is, I know we've talked about like masculinity, femininity in
Yeah.
the past kind of thing. So, this is a way for guys to get in touch with the
Yeah.
emotional
part of themselves.
Absolutely.
Right.
spiritual side
Mm-hmm.
that is so hard for men.
So we
don't be turned off by like, oh, there's flowers on it. Yes.
Yes, there's some flowers.
And God, who is a man, made those flowers.
Yes, he did.
Arranged them just so.
I was gonna say I'm a guy and I love flowers.
Right.
There you go.
Yes.
I don't have a problem with it.
This is why you're our Caleb.
Our Caleb. So I think that we live in a world full of distraction, full of busyness, and it's built to distract us.
Absolutely.
I think. It distracts us, and then we don't connect to ourselves. Connecting to ourselves is absolutely vital.
Yep.
If we don't, there's all kinds of problems that and whatever, we can distract ourselves for a certain amount of time. There's a shelf life to it, and we will suffer the consequences. So there is an absolute need for a quiet space for us to be still and for us to bring these things out to the surface, because believe it or not, we need to have an original thought to ourselves. And that is okay, because oftentimes it's God trying to speak to us and tell us something.
Yes.
And so tools like this are remarkable in that they get the pump primed and the water flowing, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Which I think, like, these are your original thoughts.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I mean, not the Bible verses,
Yeah,
obviously.
right.
I'm not going to say
the Bible verses are not mine. I can't take credit.
These are your original thoughts.
Yep.
That then you leave space for others to come up with their own original thoughts.
Absolutely. Because obviously the reason I wrote it might not be how they take it.
Right.
So like I wrote something in here for my uncle passing. So it's about loss. And obviously everyone has lost somebody. So that page will hit them in a way for like who they have lost.
Right.
So, I mean, obviously mine was written for someone specific, but then they'll be thinking of somebody else. So
Right.
that's, that's why I kind of said thoughts, prayers, and because maybe you don't have a thought at that moment. Maybe you just want to pray about something, or, you have a closure, meaning, you were talking about journaling. And I think it's the way I was raised was if you ever feel a certain way, write it out first, because you might not want to say it once you're done. Because
Wow.
like when you're
That's very insightful,
when you're all hot
parents.
and bothered and you're like mad about something, I'm a big writer, so maybe that's another reason why this is here. But like, back in the day when I was dating, like, oh, I'm really mad at you, I'm gonna write it out. Like, I'll just start writing a letter. And sometimes when you're done, you pray on it, and maybe you don't feel like maybe that letter. You read it later, you read it again, and then your whole perspective is different when you read it. You're like, oh my gosh, I was so mad.
Yeah. Okay, so why was your mom surprised that you wrote that stuff if she's the one who taught you how to write down? Mom.
No, I know, right? She laid all the stones out, and I definitely.
So, Krista, were you raised in a Christian home?
Yes.
Okay. And then were you raised in the area? Did you end up worshiping around here? And where do you worship now?
Yes, I was raised here. I went to Monte Vista.
Ah.
And I was mainly here. We've moved a lot in my my childhood.
Escaping the law and stuff?
Yes, my dad was on the run.
I
No.
understand.
No, we've definitely moved a lot. And now, as of right now, I'm at Shelter Cove in Modesto.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yeah.
She sits in the front row. We all sit in
I
the front row.
have to be in the front row.
We're the front row.
If someone's
Oh,
sitting
you're
there,
those
I give them
people.
side eye, like, why are you in my seat? Everybody knows that's my. I'm just kidding.
Squeeze
No,
in
you're not,
between your
because I do the
family.
same thing.
You've probably
Sure.
seen my face.
I'm
like,
gonna go
someone's-
sit in your seat this week. And
I would say that's rare. I feel like
See what
most
happens.
people try and like claim the back row seats
Oh
or like
no, I
middle.
have to be in the front. They have to
love
spit
it.
on my face.
I was raised a back row Baptist,
Oh.
Oh, okay.
so now
Yeah.
I'm a front row non-denominational.
Right. You've made a change.
I
for
made a
sure.
change.
So I'm curious.
Yes.
There's so much in here. What
Yes.
made you settle on the title that you did?
Okay, so I actually remember this moment. My mom was still over because she was talking about all my entries. Like, you need to write a book. And I was sitting in the hallway because she's in the bathroom. So I'm sitting on the floor looking in the bathroom. And I'm just like, okay. Honestly, the emotions, like we have to fall into our emotions. I think it's important. And then I was like, well, we need to rise back up with the one that is chosen. So I started thinking about falling and rising. And I don't know, it just kind of like clicked. And I was like, okay, we have to fall. And then we have to rise. And I didn't want to like super long title. So I was like, fall and rise. There it is. Very
That's cool.
simple, very, it makes sense. It's to the point.
Yeah.
You're going to fall, but you need to rise.
Yeah, we don't stay down.
We can't.
Yeah, and we don't rise on our own accord.
No,
That's
we
why I love
do
it.
not.
We rise with the one.
Oh my
that's
gosh. I
chosen.
couldn't imagine where I'd be right now if I didn't have God helping me rise every time I fall.
Yeah.
So
I know you've shared about it on the socials. Just kind of like the story of, I don't know, I guess we'd call it, because I love how you keep calling things your falls, and I love that.
Yeah.
Your kind of semi-recent-ish fall of going through like finding who you are, your identity.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a huge
man.
part of my life. Have you ever heard of Get Your Pink Back?
No.
Okay. Well, it's a girl from Instagram. She kind of created that saying. But flamingos lose their pink when they have babies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they turn into like a whiter color because it drains the kids. Unfortunately, we love them, but they drain you. And so in flamingo world,
kids drain you?
right? No.
But they raised themselves. I came home and they were...
I know, I'm shocking everybody right now.
That's what every man thinks. They don't just raise themselves. They come home and they've been fed
the
and they're
laundry
bathed.
doesn't
It's
fold
so
itself.
great.
This is... I'm glad I'm sitting down.
Shock. I know. But yes, I definitely lost my pink after having kids. My first one, actually. And I think that at the time, I'm very holistic. I don't really like medicine. I don't even like headache medicine. That's just who I am. I've never really been a fan. And my body's super sensitive. So I always kind of just stayed away from medicine. But I refused to go see if I was postpartum depression. Like, I just refused. I was like, I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. You know, I have a sweater that says, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yes, absolutely.
Everything's fine. But yeah, so I think looking back, I definitely slipped into depression. And I think that I tried so hard to, I would like randomly join like a MLM. And I'm not saying anything against them, but I was trying to find my way back.
Right.
But I definitely was lost. I mean, I'm not saying that I lost myself as a wife or a mother, but I imagine my little labels above me. I was Krista, but once I became mom, Krista fell.
Yes.
And I was just mom and wife. That's it.
That is so common.
Oh, yes. I've
the point-
learned to find that out.
Yeah.
And it's comforting to know I'm not alone.
There you go.
Yeah.
To the point where then when kids start leaving home, then a lot of moms are like,
where's
now what?
Krista?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now what do I do?
What do I do
Absolutely.
now? No one
Meanwhile,
needs me.
dad's like,
Yeah.
I got another thing over here, another hobby that I started up. It's like, woo.
And yes. And
Yeah.
I think that bringing awareness to that is important because there's a lot of people that have come to me since I've kind of opened up about it. And let me tell you, I'm not one to do that. I'm actually, you might not tell, but I'm an introvert. And so like I've made this public page personally to get out of my comfort zone and to spread that word and to be like, you're not alone. I completely lost myself and I lost myself for, I want to say 5-6 years.
Yeah.
And then a couple years ago, I realized someone came back into my life from my past. And I think that God placed her in my life to help and remind me of who I am and who I was.
Yeah.
And because one moment, I remember this day like it was yesterday, but I was like, I am no longer the woman that my husband fell in love with. And I've had my family say, you know, are you okay? Like, you don't seem you're like yourself. Because I'm a very quirky person around my people, you know.
Sure.
And yeah, I remember my sister coming up to me one time. And she's just like, you're just not yourself. Are you okay?
Wow.
And again, I wasn't ready to hear that at that time. At that time, all I heard was I'm not enough.
Wow.
So when you're lost and when you have fallen and you're not using the right tools to lift yourself up, you take it more as like a attack. So when my sister said like, you don't seem like yourself, I'm like, great, I'm not enough.
So that goes back to 2 Corinthians 7:10 that says, godly sorrow produces repentance, which leads to life, but worldly sorrow brings death.
Yes.
Right?
I
And
was
so it's
dead,
that worldly
for sure.
sorrow that we're like, you're saying something's wrong with me. I equate it to sometimes clients coming in figuratively with like their hands clamped in pliers. And they're like, ooh, guy. And it's like, I point out, hey, you got the pliers in the hand. And they're like, what are you saying? I'm screwed up?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
So it
So it
is
was literally me.
that sorrow that we try to run away from and shove under and keep busy and do better. Because to take it on somehow we think it's going to kill us, but it's the godly sorrow we can say, that's hard to hear.
Yes.
But wow, okay, thank you for letting me know. So how old are your kids now, Krista?
They are 9 and 6.
Okay. You're not out of the woods yet.
No.
There's still so many
My
falls.
pink is slowly coming back.
So the number one question I ask people, and I really like asking women this question because it reveals where they are in the chaos.
Okay.
Krista, what do you do for fun?
Oh, okay. Well, if you follow my socials, no, I honestly, I have a lot of fun with like fashion. I like to put things together and
It's an art form.
yeah, right.
She's incredible. She's like an influencer.
No, I do not like that word.
Oh,
I don't
she's
like
not
that
an
word.
influencer.
I don't like that word, but
She's a
I have
motivator.
Fun. Yes,
There
motivator,
you go.
encourager.
Because you've motivated me a lot to have fun
Oh.
with clothes and makeup.
Yes, exciting
cool.
to hear. That's amazing to hear.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think that now that I've kind of, or God has helped pick me back up and get some of my pink back, I strive to bring out light. And I think that is...
So if you had a weekend to yourself, what would you do?
Ooh. By myself?
Yes,
I feel
by
like
yourself.
Starbucks might be involved.
Going
Have you
and
been to
grabbing a
Lamo?
mug somewhere? Buying a mug anywhere? No.
There you go.
Honestly, I don't know if anybody has been to the Refuge in Carmel, but
Heard about it. Heard many great things
I
about it.
have been there once, and I had to force myself to stay because it was very weird. Like when you go from chaos,
Yes.
kid, school, kid drop off, all
You get
these
used
things.
to it. The devil you know.
When you're in the quietness for so long, you're like, I can't handle this.
Wait,
I
so what
have
is
to
the
leave.
Refuge? How is it
Oh
quiet?
my
'Cause
gosh, it is.
sounds
You
really
can't
cool.
talk.
No cell phones. No.
There's
Go
no
there.
cell phones. There's no talking. I took a book, but like
They yell at you if you talk? How does that work?
you just don't talk. I don't know.
Do they hire librarians to
Yeah.
work there?
They'll give you a stern look.
No, there's all these different areas. So they advise you to do certain things. I remember they give you a paper. So like there's a sauna. There is what are the other kind of rooms? Sauna, the steam room with eucalyptus.
Oh, wow.
And then there's the cold water. There's a pool. There's a hot tub.
I would scream when I got in the cold water.
You're
so-
supposed to do this
Yes,
in a
you
certain
are.
way.
Oh.
It's
Supposed
I know
to
it's good
relax
for
you
you.
and rejuvenate you. And then there's
is.
a room where you do nothing.
Super
You
good
just
for you.
lay down in your little gravity chairs. And that's where you stay, I think, the longest, if I remember correctly. I don't know the times. I forget. But I want to say like 10 minutes in, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm going to go stir crazy. I need to do something. But I was like, no,
that
I'm
is
here to
super
relax.
interesting.
So I forced
So
myself
you had a hard
to
time
stay.
sitting with yourself.
I did.
Aha.
This was my first time really doing anything
refuge.
like that. So I was completely like, what is this?
How long are you there for?
I was there. The only reason I was there so long is because the only time they could get me in for a massage.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
was
good. I was
later.
hoping that
yes.
was
there's a
involved.
massage.
Okay, I
yes,
can do that.
You can do that. I was just so short. Not in advance that the time was like 6 p.m. I think. So I was there for 6 hours.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was feeling real good.
I'm thinking you were there for
So-
like the whole weekend, and this is why you're like, it
no,
was
this
6
is just like a
hours.
one day. You can't leave and come
Okay.
back. So like once you're there, you're there.
Yeah.
So knowing that my appointment was until 6, I was like, I'm there from noon to 6.
Nice.
But it was a great. Oh,
So
amazing.
That's awesome. I'm glad you said
Yes.
that because so many moms have such a hard time doing things for themselves.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep.
And listen, every unhealthy behavior is an extreme of healthy behavior. So it is healthy to be a mom that is taking care of your children and your place, right?
Well, taking care of yourself is taking care of your children.
Yes, it is. And so the difficulty comes when accepting that God loves you and accepting opportunities to experience that.
Yes.
Because we get into these games of, well, I don't deserve this or I don't have time.
yeah.
And again, I've said this
You have to make
1,000 times.
Yeah.
If we got what we deserve, we'd be screwed.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
And so let's
My
take
mom
deserve.
says if fair was fair, we'd all be burning in hell.
Yes.
That's what I grew up with.
So
let's
you
be
got to
honest.
take deserve off the table.
Mm-hmm.
So then you equate it to the feast that the Lord puts in front of us,
Yep.
and He desires us to partake so that we respond in abundant love and appreciation. So being able to go to a spa like this, and I am prescribing this to a lot of my clients that I
oh
can
my
think of
gosh, it's
offhand.
amazing. Mm-hmm.
To be able to sit there and connect with the self and be able to
Yes.
connect with the Holy Spirit because we have a God that indwells us.
Yep.
To bring up those sometimes difficult things, to fall into our emotions,
Yes.
and to be able to see what they're trying to tell us and not deny us those blessings. Because Christians are really good at kicking their own ass in their head.
Oh yeah.
Well, I also think
For
we're
sure.
really good at thinking we're God as
Yeah.
moms and in
Oh,
saying
yeah.
like, my kids won't survive without me.
Oh, love to be
Right?
needed.
Right.
And so then it's like, oh, well, so now
Only
you're
a mom
God.
could say that.
You're right. Only because I would have kicked your ass if you said it.
Right. Well, see now, okay, when you say that, say it again. What'd you say? My kids won't survive without
My
me.
kids won't survive without
Yeah.
me.
So when I was lost during that wasn't even me.
Yeah.
Wow.
If I look back at it, it makes me emotional just thinking about it, because like my kids weren't even getting the real me.
Oh, that's so true.
I was there, but I feel like I was just on autopilot. Like I just got to do. Let me take care of you, make sure you're good, and take care of the house and all the things. But it's like, where was I?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and people, when we talk about, as Christians, when we talk about, the verse that says, we need to die to ourselves.
Yeah.
We have to have a self.
Right.
To die to.
Yeah.
And simply just doing out of rote and out of just like going through the motions and not knowing what we want as individuals, that's not even having a self. So because women are so relational, moms are so relational, they get into what everybody else wants.
Right.
And they can tell you what everybody else wants and needs. They have a lot of them have a real difficult time knowing what they want and need.
Yeah.
Right.
That's why it short circuits them when I ask, well, if you had a weekend to yourself.
Yeah. Oh, I'd probably go to the refuge again.
Laundry.
Laundry's my least favorite
That's
chore.
what you're like, let's say, right? Oh, I'm all by myself. Oh, I'll get all the laundry done. I'll get the meals made.
That is the last thing I think of, which to my wife's chagrin, right? I'm like mountain biking, motorcycle, take the truck somewhere, shoot something. Yeah. Poetry.
So you were
somewhere
providing dinner,
poetry.
shooting something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Okay, the book, Fall and Rise.
Yes.
You can get it on Amazon.
Fall and Rise. Yep, it's on Amazon.
Go support our girl, Krista, and get her book and get copies for your friends, your family. This is a great Valentine's present.
Awesome.
For those you love.
Oh, yes.
Valentine's is my favorite holiday. I'm so excited it's Valentine's season.
Oh, boy.
It is
Pressure
a season.
to the husband.
No,
right?
No, because it has nothing to do with husband and wife thing. It's just getting
she
to
just
show
loves Love Day.
I love love, and you get. I do so much for my kids on Valentine's
Day. I was thinking. Come on, man. That's a little pathological.
No, it's not. What does that mean?
I don't know. Pathological. It's
You're
like this on this romantic holiday. You go connect to your kids.
Why? Who made it romantic though?
I did.
Love is about love and like the love
the younger
of God.
society.
Fair enough. I'm not going to start.
I know what our next episode is going to be.
Take a swing at me here.
Anyway, it would be a great Valentine's present. Easter basket.
Yes.
All the holidays that are coming up.
Absolutely.
You can follow Krista on Instagram at Glowing in Grace 33.
Glowing in Grace 33.
Yes. And you want to because she's fun. And she puts little quotes there too.
I do. I put some of these there, but then again, a lot of them are just popular quotes.
There's new. Okay.
Yeah.
So
very
there you
cool.
go. Awesome. Thank
you
so much.
Thank you for hanging out.
I know. This was fun. Thank you guys so much.
Awesome.
See you all next time.
Thanks for joining us today as we continue our journey talking about life's many questions.
To stay connected with us, you can follow us at Downey Park Counseling on both Facebook and Instagram. You can also follow Caroline on Instagram at Relatable Caroline. And make sure you tune in next week for our next question.